Welcome to First and Goal, where everything is made up and the points don't matter. Get ready for the latest and hottest topics in the SML. Let's get started. Here's your host, Mad Bomber.
What's going on, everybody? It's First and Goal. This week we've got Straw, we've got Fig Newton, and we've got Hertz. Surprise, Damon, you're on the show recording. You got Prime coming up next, and you got Dan's playing right now, so you're missing the second half.
Yeah, this is the press tour.
Yeah,
this is the early press tour.
Doing an early press tour before the big game. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. That way you can get your game with Prime started as soon as possible. And we'll start with you first. First down. I don't know if any of you guys have experienced this, but lately I've been playing a lot of guys between here and Primer where no matter what, they're diving to tackle. Every play is a dive tackle. What do you guys think about the dive tackle, and is that a sim move to use it pretty much exclusively? Damon, we'll start with you.
I don't think it's sim just because of the way that the animation works. If you dive and if you get like a foot within the offensive player, they'll do like a trip tackle, and it looks really wonky. It looks really weird. It doesn't really annoy me too much if players are doing it against me, even if they're doing it a lot. But I would say it's not sim at all.
All right. Fig, we'll go to you. What do you think? I think you maybe want
Well, I think I was called out for this last cycle. I mean, for me, I'm just trying to tackle. I'll dive tackle, hit stick, just run into the guy, pray. I'm pretty bad at tackling. One game I was kind of diving all over the place, and it was working that game. I mean, I think it's more an EA thing. I don't think it's really an unsim thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my goal is to try to tackle the guy. If it happens to be a dive tackle, I don't see anything wrong with it.
All right. And Straw, what do you think?
Yeah, I already think, defense is at such a disadvantage. It starts really getting hard trying to figure out how to stop anything at this point. But I do think everything with the SML in particular and playing sim football is about moderation. So if you're doing anything every single time because you know it's gonna work, I don't think that's the way to go about it. I try to look at it situationally. If I think I can get a hit stick because I'm going to meet somebody in the hole, I'm going to try to hit stick them,
Mm-hmm.
And if he bounces off, that happens in football. I'm not going to use a dive tackle because I know the dive is going to work. So I think that's how everyone should look at it, in my opinion, is don't overuse anything just because you think it's going to work. And I think that'd be the way to know if it's sim or not.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. If you're chasing a guy down and you dive, that's one thing. If you're running head at him and you dive straight into him, that seems a little weird. But all right, so we'll move to topic 2. Second down, Fig. We'll start with you. If you've seen in chat, Matt talks all the time about I don't use the meta, bunch and trips. I don't know about you, but I haven't seen as much of that this year. What do you guys think has maybe replaced those as the new meta? And we'll start with you, Fig.
I feel like, I mean, when I'm giving up the most yards on, it's usually a lot of slants. I mean, I feel like slants are kind of a lot easier this Madden. Like, the defense isn't really reacting as much. I feel like everyone's kind of just trying to get it inside the numbers a lot more this Madden because, I mean, unless it's a user, it's, the defenders aren't really reacting as well in previous Madden. So I feel like that's kind of like the main go-to this Madden, kind of like the slants and crosses.
Okay. Straw, what do you think? Are you noticing anything?
Yeah, I haven't really noticed any formations that have seemed like the meta to me, and I haven't been looking in the world to see what folks are doing or what's going on, but it still seems like defenses aren't really reacting well to short routes. Like, you have to try to force them to play short routes, which obviously makes it much easier to then hit deeper routes. And that's oftentimes what I try to when I'm running plays and when I'm running my offense, I'm most conscious of hitting short routes, hitting like drags or running back sort of things. I try to find myself throwing down the field more just because it feels like easier to kind of complete some of that stuff.
Slow down. Let me
And
write
like
this
the
down real
defense,
quick. Just taking some
and the
notes.
defense just doesn't react enough to it. So I don't know if I found a meta, but I think I'd agree with Fig. The drags and the slants still don't seem like there's much answers to them on defense.
Okay. And Damon, what do you think?
I think in the first season we were still trying to figure out the game, so nothing was established for meta. And then we had the Doom patch where it let everything become usable. So we're still kind of working through that. Even with this new patch, we're still kind of working through that. So it feels like everything can work. So there's nothing that's meta. And if you would want to call something meta, it's any run up the middle, HV dive inside zone. It doesn't matter what it is. You run up the middle, then that's going to work. And that's probably what I would call meta if I had to call meta. But there's no meta right now. Everything works.
Yeah. One thing I'll say I've seen, maybe it's just a small sample size, but tight formations. A lot of tight and bunch. Not so much trips, but you see guys coming out in the tight, and it's bench every time. You got the little out in the corner, or you've got the drags crossing in the middle. Maybe it's just because I played Nightcrawler twice in a row. I don't know. But all right, we'll move to third down, and we'll go to Straw. Straw, third down. If you remember back to the team draft, Dan kept saying, well, wherever Prime goes, I'm going the opposite. I'm balancing things out. And he talks about balancing out the conferences. Looking at what we've got now, do you think it's balanced?
Oh man, I think we got some guys who've been playing, some guys that we thought were going to be playing better that aren't playing as well, and some guys who are surprisingly doing some things. I do think that I think it is looking a little balanced AFC and NFC wise. I mean, Prime is like steamrolling the NFC, and then from there, I think everything else is kind of up in the air. Maybe some of the best folks in the NFC are all in that same division with Prime, and then on the AFC side, right now you got it still looks like most of the powerhouses are on the AFC side. So I think it might be a little more balanced than it was, but I don't know if it's as balanced as maybe he was hoping for when he made that statement.
All right. Damon, what do you think? You're our lone NFC guy.
Lone NFC guy, so I'm going to defend the NFC. Psych. The NFC right now is very bad. The NFC right now is very, very bad. I would have said when teams were selected that the league was balanced. I would have said that the top AFC versus the top NFC, AFC would win. But then the next tier guys, NFC would be stronger than the AFCs. That's what I would have said after team selection. But now NFC is kind of drastically underperforming, and then you add QP into the AFC side. So I think we're getting into some very drastic levels of imbalance pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Soda brought up the Grim did the little chart, and season 1 the NFC had a pretty big lead, and then if you look at season 2, I think there's one division that's over 500 in the entire NFC. So it's adding Q is definitely going to cause that to shift a little more. I think I agree with you there. What about you, Fig? What do you think?
I feel like it's kind of unbalanced. Like he was trying to make it more balanced AFC, NFC. I feel like it's a lot more AFC. But I mean, even if you didn't go to the AFC, you got 5 teams right now, 10 wins this season, and the NFC only got in Prime with 10. Pretty much NFC North is good. Outside of that, I feel like AFC is kind of like way more strong. You got 5 different guys that can kind of make a Super Bowl run. NFC, I feel like it's NFC North or nothing at this point. I mean, pretty much Prime or nothing. I mean, maybe it will balance out more. Hopefully, later in the cycle. But I feel like at this point, like besides Prime, it's pretty much AFC is a lot more stronger.
I think it was
Damon's about to stop this undefeated run, though. He's about to stop this.
Yeah, we're about to stop that right now. It's about to be over in an hour.
Luckily, that game will
I
play
hope
before
so.
this ever
Yeah.
sees the light of day, so you don't have to worry about him using that as bulletin board material until after the fact. Then you're, I guess, in trouble. All right, so we'll go back to fourth down. We'll start with you, Damon, on this one. And Soda, not too long ago, said that I forget who he was playing, but he played somebody and they ran that RPO tight end pop play, the one Dan likes, the one with the, and it may have been Dan. I don't even know. I think it may have been because I think he blew him out. But he basically said as soon as he ran that play, I checked out. I was done for the game. Is there a play, anything your opponent can do that is just tilt you so bad that you're done for the game?
I would have said last cycle there definitely were things that could get on my nerves from a player, but I think the game is so bad right now that every single complaint that I have is just with the game. It has nothing to do with like what a player decides to do, if it's cheese, if it's not cheese. I think the game, it just makes me mad more than anything. So I would say there's nothing a player can really do to tilt me. And if you're Grim, all you have to do is just jiggle your back guy on the field goal, and that will get Grim going. So,
Yeah.
little
All right.
tip.
Well, maybe next time instead of jiggling the guy, you just cycle through all the players to get the little circle under them to flash. Find some way to throw them off. All right, Fig. What about you? You're pretty famous for your second quarter tweets of the game's over
Yeah.
on the next season.
I'm on tilt.
Week 3 is done.
Loading the game up.
So what is it that gets you set off so quick?
Right when the game starts, I'm on tilt. But really, for the most part, what the players do, it's not really that. I would say the one thing, if they're scrambling a lot, that kind of can. I'm not going to check out because of that, but that can be one annoying thing that players do. But for the most part, it's kind of the randomness that you can't really control. Like fumbles, it's kind of like, it's a 50-50 what's going to happen. Drop passes, kind of stuff I can't control. Like I'm obviously going to throw picks, pretty often. I'll be mad at myself at that, but it's not really going to. It's more like the stuff I can't control, I would say.
Right.
The fumbles, drop passes, and once this, I feel like last cycle was a lot worse with the throws. Like they would be like way off target. I feel like this Madden, that's not happening as much.
All right. And Straw, what is there that I can do to take you? I mean, what is there that your opponent, whoever it may be, can take you out of your game?
I don't know, man. It was what was that to win the game? That just who'd you have that scored that QB draw?
Oh yeah, Justin Fields. Yeah.
Justin Fields. Yeah, I don't know. That might have been close.
Yeah, maybe I should just come out with the 5 wide QB draw on the first play and just maybe I can get you shell shocked or something.
Right. I think Fig stole mine. There's not a lot that really gets me tilted in game. Like I'm not too mad at folks kind of doing what they got to do within reason, obviously, to try to win. And that actually gets me in a lot of trouble. I always think I can come back from things, and then screw up on ratio. Most of my ratios have come when I'm getting my butt kicked. Yep. So probably should just check out and run the ball. But I think I'd probably say what Fig said too. It's like, when you start off the game, the first play is like a fumble, and then like you come back out and now your quarterback is missing passes. The thing that gets me the most though, as a former DB, is like the guys just not playing their assignment at all. That one kills me because you expect everyone to be in a certain spot, and so you cover a certain spot of the field, and then, they just. I think I've recorded so many moments where my guy just like runs off the sideline or just starts sprinting towards the quarterback at corner. I'm like, what is happening? I did not send a corner blitz. What is happening? So that kind of stuff makes me like, all right, here we go. Like what I can't control this. So that probably, if anything were to make me check out, it'd probably be something like that.
Yeah, I think with the way Madden kind of just sometimes gets where it feels like it's just completely against you and you can't get those random things to go any of them your way. I think it's almost like a here we go again type feeling, and that maybe is the one that gets me. It used to be Meats running like 4 inside zones in a row to start the game, but then I just realized he's just going to be a scummy player, and we'll just have to deal with it. But we actually have a 2-point conversion topic. Normally 4 downs, we're done, but to delay Damon and Prime, we're going to throw the 2-point conversion question in there. since they're waiting for us. So we'll start with you, Damon. And it's the 2-point conversion. Stavo said he needs all the advances to go full 48 so he can make the offseason. And his first game since saying that was Thursday, 9 p.m. Then as soon as we hit Thursday, never mind, it's a force win. So then the next week is automatically he's scheduled for a Saturday. As soon as another Saturday game popped up, here's Stavo changing his game. He can play it early. Do you think what do you think about the move to slow down the league starting in week 15 so that you can make the offseason?
I think it sucks to have a force win in the playoffs no matter what, not even like for Sava's stake, just for whoever he's going to play and just for like the league as a whole. I'd hate to see a force win at all in the playoffs. So I would be for a delay of like a week or two of like one extra day so that we can get all the playoff games played. I would say 4 games or 4 weeks is a little excessive if that is what he plans to do, which he might be pulling off. Even legally right now, but I'd rather see a playoff game get played than not. I'll say at the end of the day.
Okay. And I'll before I go to you, Straw, I'll play devil's advocate on that one, and I think I gave all your points to Fig that time, so we'll just award you another 20 points. Call it good there. So I'll play the devil's advocate though. Would you rather see somebody get into the playoffs and have to give a force win, or would you rather see him give a bunch of force wins to maybe screw someone else out of a playoff spot? Say, the guy you're going with the 7th seed for, he gets a force win and ends up in because somebody gave that out in week 18. But we'll go to you, Straw, and I'll come back to you, Damon, at the end. Straw,
Okay.
What do you think about this?
Yeah, I think that, well, Stavo's checked out. Stavo's checked out anyway, man. We tried to have him on the show. We tried to have him dispel all the myths, but it's plain and clear. And I think to go to, I think everyone has situations that come up every now and again that force you to be away, whether it's playoffs. We've seen that with folks winning divisions and then not being around, and then off season as well, with things coming up, because obviously we play for so long, and people have other lives and things to manage. And so I don't think I think the same way where we have the push the button game of the week, right? Like I don't think it's fair to have anything kind of wait for someone to be a part of it, because we just got to keep moving, and so you got to figure out how to make it work around that. So I think I'd rather, I wouldn't want a guy to who maybe shouldn't have got in to get in off of force wins theoretically, but if they're more available to play, then that could be helpful, I guess, there.
Yeah. Fig, what do you think?
I feel like this advance, I don't think it was really on Stavo. I heard Dunk was having a flight in the morning yesterday, so I think at least for this advance it wasn't on Stavo. But typically, he's a usual suspect. So I don't like. I think it is wrong if he is going to intentionally delay for the rest of the season. I don't really think he's going to. I hope not. I mean, to me, you should try to get your games in, as best as you can. I mean, I was an hour before, the push the button a few advances ago. Wasn't intentional. It just sometimes life does get in the way. So I don't think it was intentional on his part, and I hope through the rest of the season he's not going to intentionally try to prolong the advances.
All right. And Damon, I don't know if you wanted to respond to anything.
Yeah, I would just say and I say in this case, I think ZBD's had his chances to kind of take control of division, and he plays Stavo still.
Yeah.
So it's pretty likely that he could just lose the division outright. But I'd say I would rather delay the league a day or two and not give Stavo the forced losses than just let ZBD into the playoffs because he'll be available.
Okay.
I'll say that.
All right. So with that, our scoring comes down: Fig with 81, Damon with 82, and Straw, as has been the pretty much the common theme in any game we're involved in. You have the higher score with 83. So, Straw, these 10 seconds are all yours to say whatever you want to the league.
Yeah, what I'm going to say, I'm going to use these 10 seconds to say I am very excited for this game tonight. You guys saw I was very vocal. Hurts versus
Don't hype it up. Don't hype it
I
up.
do not want to see an undefeated season. We are not going to hear the end of it. So, Hurts, let's go. And you know what? This is going to come out after the fact. So, I'm going to just cheer now because Hurts is victorious. So, that's what I'm going to use my 10 seconds for.
Appreciate that.
All right. So, just to let you know, we did live stream this one. We didn't actually record it. So, everything is seen live. All right, guys.
I'm gonna root for Hurts as
In
well.
the Discord. Prime is going to be coming for me after this.
Yeah, all right. Thanks for being on, guys. Thanks for watching. And good luck, Hurts.
Thanks for listening to First and Goal. Be sure to check out Mad Bomber TV on Twitch and YouTube for the latest from the SML. And we'll see you next time on First and Goal.